Over the past few months, one of the major topics on most Americans' minds is the presidential election. Politicians ponder a wide selection of topics and debate methods to develop a better America. While the highest echelon of ideas often revolve around the economy, military, and social reform, the frequently overlooked discussion is that of power and energy production. The three major players in the power industry are coal, oil, and nuclear. Each one has certain costs and benefits that need to be weighed. Coal has and will continue to be a major player in the industry due to its abundance and cost efficiency. Nuclear, on the other hand, is an up-and-comer attempting to compete with the costly oil and coal. Even in infancy, nuclear energy looks favorable against its competitors. The immediate consideration when looking at any investment is the cost. There are multiple statistics to view in order to make an informed decision. The most important two are the upfront cost and the running cost. The upfront cost for nuclear reactors is estimated to be around $9 billion. Oil refineries cost close to $5.5 billion, and coal and power plants are the cheapest at $1 billion. Coal comes out the cheapest with running cost at $29.1 per megawatt hour. Nuclear isn't far behind with $30 per megawatt hour. Since coal has been around the longest, the energy-making process has been almost perfected. Unlike nuclear energy, where breakthroughs are being made constantly. So, currently, nuclear power costs are more than most other energy producers, mainly due to the need to dispose of the nuclear control rods, but that issue is being solved even now. After looking at those exact numbers, it's time to get more theoretical. At the moment, most of the United States relies on coal and natural gas as power sources. Luckily, coal is found in abundance throughout most of the U.S. Unfortunately, the opposite is true for oil. The Middle East and Russia control the majority of natural oil. So, the United States has no choice but to import taxed oil to meet running necessity. Due to the Cold War, America tends to stay away from importing anything of major importance from Russia. This leaves one option: buy from the Middle East. However, the Middle East is one of the most explosive areas in the world in recent history. With the United States heavily invested in foreign oil, we have no choice but to choose a side and join the ongoing fights of the Middle East to maintain our standard of living. Uranium, on the other hand, can be found here in the U.S. or bought from our peaceful allies of Canada or Australia. If we could fully harness the power of nuclear energy, there is a possibility of lessening our dependence on volatile nations. To ensure that the United States really can switch from oil to nuclear power, the full energy outputs of both must be compared. Currently, the rough estimate is that the United States gets about 25% of its energy from petroleum, and only 8.4% from nuclear power. The 8.4% comes from the 100 nuclear reactors currently running. So, in order to fully cover the missing 25%, there would need to be close to another 300 nuclear generators. However, that would only be necessary if these nuclear power plants were built on older standards. Currently, the French are leading the way for even more effective nuclear power. They are in a similar situation to the United States, except they were dependent on Russia for oil. To free themselves of foreign ownership, they have increased their nuclear energy production. For maximum efficiency, their power plants have undergone major overhaul and are now a shining example of a nuclear future. The United States, under the tutelage of France, could easily overcome our energy crisis. While, so far, nuclear energy sounds like a saving grace, there are other considerations outside of pure efficiency. Safety on U.S. soil concerns every person that lives here. Nuclear energy has the potential to be a dangerous tool if abused. Contrary to popular belief, a nuclear reactor can never actually turn into a nuclear bomb, but it can melt down. There are several examples of nuclear tragedies, 3 Mile Island being the most relevant to Americans. This terrifying event shook the nuclear energy industry, proving yet again that even a minor problem could cost many people their lives. Most reports surrounding 3 Mile Island state that no one was killed due to the meltdown of the reactor. However, the reports of cancer in the region around the zero site were increased in subsequent years. I give all my sympathy to the families that have lost anyone to cancer, especially if it was artificially caused. Some good did come from the event, though, because every new and old nuclear power plant received enhanced security and backup measures to keep any similar events from happening, although safety doesn't just come from user error in the power industry. Pollution has recently come to light as yet another bump in the road for the power industry. Side effects of pollution destroy more than any amount of nuclear meltdowns. Nuclear reactors actually cause zero air pollution. The only negative byproduct of these reactors is the used uranium, but that can easily and safely be disposed of after use. Additionally, France is currently developing technology to allow the used control rods to be recycled. Thus, nuclear energy is almost completely clean. Oil, on the other hand, contributes to one of the deadliest air pollutants, smog. Almost every point of oil production and refining causes some amount of pollution that will harm our environment and possibly impact us directly. The United States of America is an amazing country. However, realizing our shortcomings helps ensure a better future. Nuclear energy as an industry contains limitless possibilities for bettering our nation's bright future. Recall some of these important facts as we enter into our upcoming election for the good of all people in the United States. Thank you for listening, and have a well-informed and exciting day.